beating that in a little bit, but I really want to make sure that we all know, my team and our clients, like, this is the why we do what we do. And the why we do either a show or thought leadership content, or with our Booth Magnet program, if you don't have a show or thought leadership content, we bring you on to the trade show as a guest. But we strategize the interviews, we strategize your thought leadership content, and we strategize your show all around your ideal customer profile, specifically knowing what's the relevant content that's going to capture their heart, capture their attention. We want the buyers, we want the industry to go, oh my gosh, I've got to pay attention to this. So we've got to get that foundation of your vision, mission, values, and goals. And we have to have the detail of your ideal customer profile to maximize our efforts. You can have a show and you can have an idea like, hey, our clients are kind of these people. But if you do the work on your mission, vision, values, and goals, and your ideal customer profile, their pain points, and what do they really need? What are things that they say? How did they feel? What's their experience been? What else is going on in their lives besides work? Like, who are they? How old are they? What else is going on in their lives that we could speak to really capture their hearts and attention? Then we got a really good shot of becoming that trusted advisor. So we look at this now, and I took the example of a 45-minute show as a starting point. So this becomes our content source. And what do we do to pre-promote an episode, or a pre-episode promotion? I guess I wrote that wrong. Well, we have lots of opportunities. And the reason this is important is because if we're working on being connected and relevant and influential, we've got to keep in front of them and keep letting them know these activities that we're doing, these content or these shows or these episodes that we're created and doing. So lots of different ways we could do it. We can do the LinkedIn invite, of course. We go in, you click the button on invite, and you start sending invites. I suggest we be more strategic, and so we're inviting the same prospects over and over again. I think we take the time to send them emails like, hey, I kicked off this show, especially if they're an ideal prospect. We've kicked off this show, or even if you've been doing it a while, hey, I wanted to let you know we do a show. It's called this. We do episodes every week. These are the types of things that we talk about that you might find interesting. Ask them questions. Maybe there's someone in your company that would be a good guest. Are there other people that you think would be a good guest to talk about their content, or educate the industry? My point is this: we're using every opportunity we can to connect, to communicate, to stay top of mind with the people that we want to influence the most, generally prospective customers. So as an example of doing that with the LinkedIn invite feature on LinkedIn is a real easy one. And it's one that we most do because it's easy. You click a button, there's a list of everyone you're connected to, and you go click, 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 click. But it's a bit of a random act of social. Take your prospect list. You don't have to do it all in one day. You don't even have to do it all in 1 week, but over a short period of time, make the commitment to send each one of them a message, sharing with them about your show and asking them those types of questions. Who would you recommend? What topics would you be interested? Get them involved with the show. And then every week you can continue to invite people, and it's another touch. Like, because we push the show also to YouTube, you can do YouTube shorts. And those are shorts that are talking about, hey, this week we got this episode coming up. Our guest is going to be so-and-so. We're going to talk about this. I'm really excited about it because there's just all these organic and simple conversational, we call it content, but it's just conversational ways of promoting the show, the episode, yourself, and staying in front of your audience. I put Instagram and Facebook on here just for people that want to do that. If you create a short for LinkedIn and YouTube, you can push it to Instagram and Facebook or TikTok as well. I didn't add TikTok on here, but you can push it to those as well. Other channels of promoting an episode, email. And we are going to start, for those of us on the Fist Bump team, we're going to start creating that for those that we do full service for. We'll start creating messages for them that they can email out promoting their episodes. You can turn it into a blog article. I hear so many marketers talk about, oh my gosh, we just don't have enough content and it's so expensive, or it's so hard, it's so time consuming, you don't have enough people. This is a really great touch. LinkedIn plus newsletter means, for me, it's a LinkedIn newsletter or your LinkedIn post. Whether it's a video post, it's a written post, you're just sharing it from the event page. Guys, here's my point for everybody. Be strategic and consistent with using the show well to stay top of mind, to nurture your prospects, to focus on your industry so that you are connected and relevant and influential. Okay. There's a huge opportunity with the pre-show promotion or the pre-episode promotion that we just tend to skip over because we get busy like, oh, I got a show, but let's do the steps well so we maximize the effort that we're doing. Okay. I want to make sure that everybody understands this with your audiences, because there's so many opportunities to use the show for more than just, oh, we go on for 30 to 45 minutes and then we're done. First of all, you have your live audience. If you're going live, and not everybody goes live, and that's okay, but if you're going live, you have your live audience. LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Restream is working with TikTok now, so we could even push to TikTok. But you have your live audience, and the value of that, or the uniqueness of that, is that if they comment during the show, you could actually engage with them. I find with Mastering Modern Selling that the more comments we get, it also influences the algorithm. And it seems like our viewership goes up. I've noticed that as we get comments, viewership keeps going up, which means they start showing our episode to more people. And when we don't get as many comments, like this past week, we had none week before Christmas. It just kind of flatlined with the audience numbers, is what it seemed like to me. But you got your live audience, and there's a whole opportunity there of engaging with people. They comment. You can go, oh my gosh, we got a comment. You guys know Bob Britton comments all the time on our show. We're like, oh, Bob's got this great comment. We bring it up on screen. We talk about it. It makes the audience feel more involved, and it encourages them to comment more and be involved. And it opens up a lot of opportunities, because it's just like a post, or it's just like a comment to your post. The more comments you get, the more the algorithm's going to like it. Then, of course, you have your recorded audio that goes out to the podcast, and you have a whole podcast audience out there. Don't forget that you have a podcast audience. Don't neglect them when you're recording live or recording on video. Don't neglect your podcast audience, and asking them and reminding them what you want them to do. Hey, give us a review. Take a screen capture on your phone, share it with people that in your company or people you know that would find value in it. Those types of things. Don't neglect that audience. And then remember, you've got the evergreen audience. LinkedIn, YouTube, your podcast, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever. You've got that audience that those pieces sit out there forever. Make sure that your settings on your notifications are set so that if somebody goes and comments, I had somebody comment a couple of days ago, maybe it was this morning, I don't know, but it was on a show that we did 2 weeks ago. It's evergreen content out there. And when you get the notifications, be sure to go talk with them, comment on their comments, be active. Again, if we want to be connected, relevant, and influential in the space, and people comment, and we don't go and respond, very likely they will never comment again because they were ignored. I mean, it's risky for most people. A lot of people in this group, like, oh, we've gotten used to commenting. We got used to posting. We're out there and we comment and somebody doesn't comment. We're like, whatever, I'm going to keep going. But for a lot of people, publishing a comment's a big deal. And it's scary. And if you don't respond to comment, chances are they're never going to comment on your content again because you ignored them. I like to say it this way. It's if someone comments on your post or comments on something and you ignore them, it's like them asking you a question face to face and you never responding. You just looking at them like they're an idiot and make them feel like an idiot and not answering. So don't do that. All right. I'm going to pause for a second. What questions do you all have to this point? And then I'm going to talk about the uses of the content that we get from the shows. Any? Am I putting you guys to sleep? Or what feedback, comments, questions?
No, no.
No.
I think it makes sense. The way
Okay.
you said it makes more sense now.
Cool. I can't see you, so I don't know what's going on. And I know I'm talking a lot without interaction. So this one's much more of a me blurting stuff out. Okay.
No, but
The
we are
content-
still taking ideas from it, so it's still useful when you are talking about it, explaining everything in detail. It's useful for us as well.
Awesome. Good. You guys, look, and there's probably more of this, but what I look at is from one 45-minute episode, we end up with almost 30 pieces of content. Right? Now I know, like, there are people like, wait, how do we get so many? Well, there's some of it's the same content, but used in different places. So it multiplies. So here's sales content. And please add to this if I've missed anything. But again, you take one 45-minute episode. At the end of it, we have an email that we can send to active prospects, a prospect who's in pipeline right now. Maybe you're at various stages of conversations with them. What was the theme, the topic, the point? Why did you choose that person and that topic and that episode? And if you're not strategically thinking about your episodes, your guests, and your topics to help you with prospecting, then you need to start doing that. And moving into 2025, our team at Fist Bump is going to be working with you to say, hey, every 2 months to 3 months, we want to be very strategic about an episode that makes sure that we're using this content over a 1, 2, or 3 month period of time for all your prospecting and communication. And it doesn't mean we won't use content for the other episodes. I want to make sure that everybody has at least one a quarter that is very strategic. I'm thinking a lot of people are going to, we don't have time to be that strategic. Great. Once a quarter, once a month, once every 2 months, I want you to take the time. Remember, one of our rules, go slow to move fast. Take the time to be very strategic about the episode, because that episode becomes such valuable content to use for your prospecting, your nurturing, your client retention nurturing. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But after the show, we've got an email that we can send to prospective clients that are currently in pipeline. Why are we sharing it with them? For all of these, companies talk a lot about, we want to be a trusted advisor to our clients. And the trusted advisor word has almost gotten trite. It gets used too much. But the big question to ask people, for me, is, well, if you want to be seen as a trusted advisor, you want to be known as a trusted advisor, what type of trusted advice are you giving? And most companies, quite honestly, they don't. It's like, I want to be seen as a trusted advisor, but I never share trusted advice. Well, or some of them will say, well, when we get into meetings with them, okay, well, screw that. How are you being perceived as a trusted advisor before you get the meetings? Because if you're seen as a trusted advisor, again, connected, relevant, and influential, trusted advisor, same thing. If you're seen that way ahead of time, then guess what? You get more meetings. But if you're not that way ahead of time, you're going to get fewer meetings where you think is where you're strong at demonstrating that you're a trusted advisor. And then I've got a little rabbit trail with that. The ones that wait till they get in the meeting, their trusted advisor status is all the stuff that's between their ears, like their experience, their thoughts, their history, all the things that they know. Well, why are you waiting to do it in the boardroom? Just get that out in shows or content in order to get invited to more meetings. That's another little rabbit hole, but you get it. So we've got active prospect emails. We have nurture prospect emails. Maybe you've gone through sales cycle with prospects who have said no or not now, or they didn't have budget or anything like that. How are you communicating with them? I'll tell you what most companies do. They get a no and they stop communicating with them because I don't have time. And then 3 months later, 6 months later, they pull them back out of their CRM and they start communicating with them again. And they're like, hey, we spoke 6 months ago. I want to start talking to you again and see if I can get more of your time to try and sell you something. Who is going to feel as a buyer special about that? What they're going to see is, oh yeah, commission breath. You don't care about me. You just care about closing a deal. If you're consistently sending them this content from the show and you're helping them think, you're helping educate them, you're helping entertain them, you're helping encourage them, you're staying top of mind. Well, now you're being connected, relevant, and influential. And it's going to create more interest in meetings. So keep sharing that content with them. We know this, we got written LinkedIn posts, and I just did this as 2. Some episodes you can do more, some episodes it might be less, some shows we just might get a lot more. But I didn't want to, I mean, I know we do like 4 and 5 shorts per episode for our clients, but let's just say 2 to keep the numbers not so crazy. But I'm happy to say 4 or 5 there. But now you got written LinkedIn posts. You have video LinkedIn posts. You have video YouTube posts. You have video Instagram posts. You have video Facebook posts. You have video TikTok posts. All of these, even though it might be the same video, you're pushing it out into more channels and getting in front of more people. It's another touch point. So very simple use of content from a 45-minute episode. And I did it at 10 because 10's just a nice round number. But what if we did more videos? We added those up and we're looking at like 16, 18, 20 different touches for sales content. Do you have any questions, or what questions do you have about that? All right, moving on. Marketing content. Now, guys, I know a lot of you are like, well, it's the same content. Yes, it's the same. It can be the same content. The core, it can be written slightly different, and it's used in different places. So we have blog articles for the corporate website. You can do one before the episode, like I said before, and then you could do 1 or 2 afterwards. Do a blog article with the clip. Do a blog article with the entire video. Again, we're trying to create content so that our customers can engage with the company and the information as they want, not just the way we want them to. LinkedIn newsletters, again, you can do one that's a summary, and maybe you do one that's a very specific clip. The example I like to give, and this was on mine, so I don't know if I'd call it more sales or marketing or smarketing, but we had that clip from the Alice Hyman episode, which was just phenomenal because Alice Hyman is a big dog. Alice said very directly in the camera, if you're a CEO and you are not active on LinkedIn, you are a sales preventer. And she went on for about 90 seconds scolding CEOs who are not active on LinkedIn. Well, we turned that into a clip. And so now Kareem did the editing. There's a clip with Alice on top, me on the bottom. We just ignored Tom and Carson because it was for our purpose. I turned that into a social post. And then we boosted it with a LinkedIn ad. And that post still gets comments 3 months later. I have one prospective client that came out of that because somebody in my post, I tagged Alice, I tagged her company, all that. But somebody came along who knew Alice, was connected to Alice, but didn't know me from anyone. But she commented on it. Oh, Alice, you're so right. Da, da, da. Well, then what did I do? I get the notification. I come behind her. Terry, great comment. I start chatting with Terry. I send her a connection request. I send her a message. We get on a call. She says, oh my gosh, that sounds like a good idea. Can we wait till January? And here we are. May or may not come to revenue, but I want you all to see the process of how this creates conversations. Because from Terry's perspective, I was on camera with Alice. She has respect for Alice. She knows Alice. Alice is a big dog. Alice has influence over her. Because I'm on screen with her, I got that same, at least some of that, reputation and influence and value. So this is the way I want you guys thinking about using your content. You got LinkedIn newsletters. You've got written posts. You've got video posts. You got newsletter content, your weekly newsletter that goes out, or monthly newsletter. Refer to the episodes and tell people why they should watch it. Why is it valuable for them? Give them multiple links. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch a short here. You can watch it on our blog. Be strategic about where you want to drive traffic. I love our new audio summary that we do. By the way, I haven't seen one from Wednesday's episode yet. I thought that was part of our weekly system now that we'd have that on Thursdays. I haven't seen it. Did we not do it? Did we not turn it into a system like we said we were? But those audio summary blogs are really cool. They're entertaining. It's a different way of sharing the same content. And for you that don't know it, it's a Google AI tool. You can load the link to your episode, give it some information, set some settings, and it'll create like a summary conversation between two people that are doing a review of your show. Totally AI driven. I say own it. Yes, this is AI driven, but it's really kind of fun. Take a listen. It's entertaining. And you can do like a 5 or 6 minute summary of your 45-minute episode. New piece of content, a new way, a new style for your audience to choose how they're going to engage with it. And you can use that audio summary on a blog, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, right? Turn the graphic into a GIF so it looks like the radio waves are moving and use your audio file. It's a cool piece of content. You can use it in your customer emails. You can use it in your full database email that goes to everybody. You can turn content from an episode. I don't even know if I put it in the sales. Oh yeah, I mean, the active prospect, it goes out to everybody, but individual sales producers, think about your prospects. Where are they? What are their concerns? What do they talk about? What do they need to solve? Strategize an episode that's identifying and talking about their direct challenge that most of your clients have, and use that as a core piece of content. Send it directly one-on-one. Hey, Sally, I know when we spoke, you said this was a challenge. We recently did an episode with Big Dog Person, and we talked about this. Here's 3 key takeaways from the episode. I thought it'd be valuable for you, wanted to share it with you. Send it off to the people that that's relevant to. Again, you want to be a trusted advisor? Give trusted advice. Be strategic with it. All right, last one, customer success content. All the same content that we're using. What if your customer success team, who works one-on-one with your clients all the time, goes, hey, one of my clients, I was talking to them, they were struggling with this. We just did an episode on that. Let me go share it with them. constantly thinking about renewals, making sure you're adding value to your customers. You're more than just an invoice. You're a part of their team. You're a part of their education. You're a part of their learning. Always be sending your clients referrals, introductions, content that will help them be successful. It's also a reason to call customers. I know some companies, you don't talk to your clients as often as you should. You don't talk to clients as often as you would like to, because you don't have a reason to give them a call. Like everything's working fine. If I call them, I'm just going to sound like I'm trying to have a call, because I am. Sharing an episode with a specific customer, it's a good reason to call. Hey, I thought about you. We did this episode with this big dog person, Bob. They talked about these things. I wanted to share it with you. Check your email. I'll get that off to you. Text it to them. All of this is about coming at our industry, our prospects, and our current clients from a place of serving. And as we serve, we're nurturing them for our sales. We're adding value to them, which will help our prospecting. It's going to help our funnel process. It's going to help our renewal process. So the key thing is how strategic can we be about our content? And if it's a show, our guest, the topic, not just, oh, they're a big name, that's a cool topic. Is that good content that you should be sharing with your prospective customers? Is it good content to share with current customers? Just go deeper, go further to make sure that this whole system you're putting in place is that much more valuable than just, we do a show, we have cool people come on, we do social posts. All that's fine, but there's so much more opportunity if you turn it into your prospecting system.